I'd like to call meeting 3 of the Senate Standing Committee on Agriculture to order. We always start with the saying of the pledge. I've got a guest here, Bodie James from Barron County. He's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody please stand. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Senator Deneen. Here. Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Nunn. Here. Senator Reed. Here. Senator Richardson. Here. Senator Webb. Senator Wilson. Here. Senator Yates. Present. Senator Boswell. Here. And Chairman Howe.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. A couple of groups in the audience I'd like to recognize. First, the Kentucky Ag Leadership Program's here. Appreciate y'all coming up. We saw some of y'all this morning. Will y'all please stand? Give them a round of applause for being here. Thank you. It's important for y'all to come up. It's important for us to see y'all, too. We also have the Kentucky Cattlemen's Ag Leadership Program. Will y'all please stand? Thank you. It's like dueling leadership groups. Some on this side, some on that side. So anyone else have any guests with us today? We have one bill on the agenda. It's my bill, Senate Bill 28. I'm going to stay here. Commissioner Shell, if you'll go ahead and make it to the podium with whoever you're bringing with you. We do have a committee sub for this. Do I have a motion on the sub? Motion by Senator Yates. Do I have a second? Second by Senator Richardson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The sub is adopted. Before you get started, Commissioner, I get to lead. This bill, I want to thank Commissioner Shell and all of his staff for the hard work and leadership they've given on this. This bill puts the framework around the ag economic development money that we dropped in the 2024 budget. It just sets the parameters for how these funds will be allocated through the Department of Agriculture. And with that, I will turn it over to Commissioner Shell. It's always a great day in the Ag Committee when you have the Ag Commissioner here, so we'll turn the floor over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, committee members. It was, Brandon doesn't really need to be up here, but I figured it'd be bad if I didn't bring him up here and let him sit with me since I know all of you all miss him.
I know you're new to the legislature and the legislative process, but Please introduce yourself for the record.
I appreciate that. You just make sure I don't mess up too bad, Mr. Chairman. I am Jonathan Shell, the Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture, and just really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for last year putting in the budget the $5 million for ag economic development that we're working today on putting the framework around and the enabling legislation in order for us to be able to do the work of Kentucky agriculture around attracting something different than what we've focused on in the past, and that is end users, processors, further processing, that end of the process, end of the line that actually creates the markets and availability for it. I want to run through just a few things that I think are astonishing for the state of Kentucky that we currently have, just to show you kind of the types of projects, the types of atmosphere that we're really working on, trying to attract and get those resources here for the state of Kentucky. So one of them is our poultry operations in the state of Kentucky. Let me give you all a vision for the last 20 years that we've had in Kentucky. So in 1996, our cash receipts in the state of Kentucky was $3.1 billion. Of that $3.1 billion, poultry was 5% of that $3.1 billion. Because of processing, because of the companies like Tyson, Pilgrims, Purdue, and others that have located and expanded in the state, we now have a cash receipts of $8.3 billion as of the last report from Dr. Snell. Of that 8.3, poultry is now 25% of the total of that cash receipt. We now have about 5 major processing facilities in the state of Kentucky around poultry. Each of those facilities process 1.3 million chickens or more a week. And I'll repeat that. They process 1.3 million chickens or more a week in those facilities. that are Kentucky grown and in this region of the country that go directly into those facilities for being able to get into the food supply system that we have in America and also for trade purposes. When you think about that facility, those are 12 to 1,400 jobs in each one of those facilities and communities across the state, from Clinton County to Ohio County to Henderson County and beyond. Those facilities not only have those jobs that are there directly created at those facilities, but you're talking hundreds of farmers that are supplying those poultry birds to those facilities to be processed, and then the corn markets that are associated with it. In Kentucky, 30% of the corn that we have goes to our poultry operations in the state of Kentucky. 30% of the total production of corn goes to poultry. We also have companies like JBS in Louisville, processors, 10,500 hogs a day they process at that facility. That is insurmountable for anything that we have in Kentucky. There is no better assets that we have than these large processors that are here in helping attain profitability and future legacy leaving opportunities for our farmers in the state. Senator Richardson, in Hopkinsville, we have the Hopkinsville Elevator, $750 million business that's there. It only has 168 jobs associated with it, but there's 3,800 farmers that supply corn from this area of Kentucky all the way down through a little bit of northern Tennessee. When you talk about the impact that's made because of these processors being there, because of further processing, in Hopkinsville, we also have our